Don't make me mute you.
Who are you?
My name is Bond.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
I am Steve Rogers.
Spartans!
What do you want?
Wanna play psycho killer?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
E.T. Home phone.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Better Show, the number one podcast that talks about the movies from the 90s and early on. I think that's the proper term. I am, of course, the podcast mogul, Phil Better. And beside me, as always, is the dashing and most knowledgeable of pop culture himself, Aaron Talks Films. Aaron, how are you doing?
I was okay until you put me under immense pressure. He was like, be quiet for 10 seconds, just as I took a sip. And then he was like, I will mute you. I will mute you. And I was like, panicking because I had a mouthful of drink and I didn't know what to do. But yeah, other than that, I'm fine. Thank you.
It's another show. It's another episode. People should be happy. I'm finally putting out episodes again online. We record these, but because I've been so busy with holidays and all that, my production-based side fell behind, but I buckled down and got them all up. So these are going to be rolling out. This one's probably, you know what? I'm actually going to tell it. I want to show how far in advance we are to you. I'm going to show, should I show the crew? Should I show the audience?
The crew? Do we have a crew?
It's our team.
All the guys behind the camera.
Yeah, all the guys behind the camera. Let's see. We are scheduled all the way to March 2nd.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how behind we were. We had recorded enough all the way to March 2nd.
I know a lot of the episodes that we record you don't always put up straight away. I know that a lot of them are in advance, but I didn't realise it was that far. Do you know how guilty I feel when I miss a week? I feel so guilty.
Don't. So the last one we posted, so actually two posted yesterday. I forgot that I didn't schedule them properly, and they posted yesterday. But before that was December 8th. So today is January 12th, December 8th. So nearly a month out. So there was 4 episodes kind of missing.
Oh.
So people got 2 episodes. They got the oh yes, it was the Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Wow, I don't know. I was going to say I don't remember. I remember recording that. I don't remember anything
so
about
long
it.
Ago.
Yeah.
And then it's dang it. I forgot to set up. I messed up on the episode, but it's the special guest episode.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Is
that the one that I missed?
Yeah, it's the week that you missed.
Yeah.
And then the next one is you come back. And what's really funny is we have an episode on the theories of Spider-Man No Way Home.
yeah.
And we released our review of it, of Spider-Man No Way Home, back in November.
Damn.
That's how messed up. And all the episodes are out of order because I
think you should try and you should redo it so it comes out maybe like the Blu-ray release, maybe somewhere around that time.
But it comes out before it comes out on Disney Plus. It probably I think it's probably going to come out by February. If not, I'll just bump it up a few times.
That's ridiculous. That was a good episode as well. People are missing out.
Yeah, it was full of great things, and I got a lot of things right, which is nice. Because I think I date the episode. I think I say what day it is in the episode, or because something happened, something released.
Yeah, I know we do mention like that this is a week before Spider-Man comes out, so we are trying hard not to unnecessarily spoil it, but by now it doesn't really matter, does it? So
yeah, by now it's really releasing in late February probably.
Yeah. Wow. Catch up.
I know some podcasters. You know what's funny? I know we're bantering here, not on the movie. We're going to be talking about Face Off, ladies and gentlemen, the John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, John Woo masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece.
It is some of the best filmmaking I have ever seen in a movie starring both John Travolta and Nick Cage, but also the story and how they embody the different characters are phenomenal in this.
And the doves.
Oh yes, the doves. The doves are masterful. But I do want to just ask Aaron something, because he is a fellow podcaster and he does post some occasionally, and he's a busy guy being a dad and a stay-at-home husband.
I'm a bit behind on my.
It's fine. It's
content.
fine. You're just nervous, and you're getting back into the groove of it. Don't worry. But some people don't like to date their podcasts when they record it, because sometimes they record in advance, like, oh, I have this product launch, and okay, when are you launching? Oh, in like 3 weeks. Okay, we'll release it on the day of the release, but you can record it today, or some shit like that, to get the maximum boost for the release. So they try not to date the episodes. I know a few podcasters that I've been a guest on are like that. My question is, are you?
Not really. I think the main problem with my podcast is it goes with the weekly news. So when I do eventually get back into it, I record at the weekend and I cover the last week's news. So it kind of has to go up around that time, or at least like a few days after. Yeah. Because if that was to be released 3 months later, it's not really news anymore.
You're right.
By that point, it's kind of it's old. It's old.
It's old news, baby. It's not useful anymore.
So I mean, a lot of the stuff that I cover as well is theories and speculation, and if I cut it down to just the movie review at the end, then that would just be the Feel Better show. So I do tend to throw a little review in at the end of my podcast, but because it's mainly news, it has to go up as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's not really relevant. Whereas the podcast that we do, although a Spider-Man movie review or a Spider-Man speculation episode is maybe a bit more prevalent at the time, is them sort of things you can still go back and listen to and go, right, well, I've seen the movie now. They speculated this. He got this right. He got this wrong. It's kind of fun to listen to.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I don't mind dating my episodes, because it's not the end of the world. Like, everybody, we're recording this on the 12th of January, so you're listening this later in March. You're probably what did I say? You'll be listening it to March 2nd. This is the March 2nd episode.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year from January. Let us know if the world is blowing up or not, because we may not. I don't know what's going on. We got so much stuff going on. Yeah, maybe I created Skynet. Inside joke.
That was an off-air conversation. Phil's trying to build Skynet.
Yeah, I'm trying to build Skynet. I'm trying to become Tony Stark. That's what I'm trying to build. I'm building Jarvis. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to build Jarvis.
He's trying to build a suit of armor around the world.
Yeah, that's right. I want to protect the world. I want to become Tony Stark. I wouldn't mind his money. But if you listen to my other shows, Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur podcast, or Invest in Yourself, the podcast series, you would understand what I'm trying to build and what does Jarvis actually mean. But Aaron, let's talk Face Off. I'm going to give the summary of what it is here from Wikipedia. Face Off is a 1997 American action thriller film directed by John Woo, written by Mike Werb and Michael Collery, and starring John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. The first Hollywood film in which Woo was given a major creative control, Face Off earned critical acclaim for the performances by Cage and Travolta in its stylized action sequence, and was nominated for an Academy Award for sound effects editing, Mark Strokinger and Per Halberg at the 70th Academy Awards. The film earned an approximately $245 million worldwide, making it the 11th grossest Hollywood film of 1997.
Crazy. It is the most ridiculous idea for a movie maybe not the most ridiculous, but it's just
it's completely ridiculous. Like,
it's so stupid, but I think that adds to how just incredible it is, and just it's so over the if you were to explain to someone that had never seen this movie or had never even heard of it, the plot, they just
give us
be
the
like,
plot. Explain the movie in the simplest way possible. This is the new game. This is the new game we're doing, Aaron. When we watch this
way
movie,
possible.
yes,
good versus evil. Switch
Okay.
faces, switch lives, switch identities. Yeah, it's just.
explain this movie to me. Explain.
Okay, John Travolta's a policeman, a police officer, and he spends most of his career after Nicolas Cage's character. He finally catches him and puts him into a coma by throwing him into a jet engine. It's already over the top, isn't it? And they find out that he planted a bomb, and they can't find the bomb without information. So to get information, they have to go after the bad guy's brother, Nicolas Cage's brother. And the only way to get him to talk is for John Travolta to take Nicolas Cage's face and transfer it to his, and change, his body shape and his hair and everything and his voice, and go into prison and talk to his brother to get information. Nicolas Cage's character wakes up from his coma and takes over John Travolta's character, and then hilarity ensues. It's stupid, but so perfect. I don't even. It's so ridiculously over the top. Like I say, if you're trying to explain this to someone, you've seen the movie, But if I said that to a complete novice, they just be like, "What are you talking about? Why? That's not."
The bone structure, the whole shape of the head, the whole shape of your body, the height difference, the width of the
the way they just discard it. They're like, "Oh yeah, we can do this, and then you'll be fine. We'll put his hair on your hair, and it's fine." It's just like, no,
there's a lot.
And you're watching it, and it really does look like this operation takes like an hour. It happens so quickly.
It's like an 8-year operation.
Yeah, like they do explain it, and then he's like, "Oh, we've got these special tablets that takes the inflammation away quicker because you will be swollen, obviously, after operation." But he's just like, "Don't worry about that. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about the body hair. Don't worry about that scar on your chest. We'll put that back later." What do you mean put it back? Like you just cut the scar off.
How do you take it off?
Yeah, exactly. It is nonsense. But for some reason, the way they just kind of breeze past it, the audience is like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine."
I think the audience was just like, holy shit, they're taking the face off of one man, putting it on another. Not thinking the bone structure is different, the size of the face is
because,
different.
He even says about the bone structure, he comes up with this like plastic mask, and he says, "This is his bone structure, and we'll put it over your face, and then put the face over the top of the mask." But that thing's like this thick. I don't know if the people that can't see it's like an inch thick. His face would be this long, and it
would be like
so,
10 inch. The face went like, how are you stretching that?
Yeah.
Too much Botox, buddy.
Why the long face? It's so silly.
But it's like the acting. This is pure Nick Cage. Like, this is Nick Cage. Like, I love the fact that Nick Cage can go in the first half of this movie is so over the fucking top. Like, he is at a level of 10.
His Castor Troy is probably one of my favorite characters from movie history, and it's all down to Nicolas Cage's performance.
Oh yeah, no, it was fantastic. My headset. I need to get a new headset. But no, his Castor Troy is perfection.
He's just insane, but there's still sanity behind that.
If he was the guy I would love, that is Carnage. Like, if Nick Cage was at this age today, I would want him to have been playing Carnage, because that is Carnage to a max.
Yeah, even at a long shot, he's a Joker type.
Yeah, that's like Joker. That's just like Jack Nicholson is like the perfect Joker just because it's Jack Nicholson. And I just love Jack Nicholson as an actor, but live action, I know he's the weakest one there. Like I can arguably say Heath Ledger best Joker next to Mark Hamill. Like live action, Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill is the best Joker overall just because he's that voice and the animation is just perfect.
Yeah.
But for me, Jack Nicholson, because he was the first Joker I saw before I saw.
And they're all very different, and he's very. That you could kind of similarize those two. You know, Jack Nicholson's performance and Nicolas Cage's performance as Castor Troy.
Yeah, it's got that wacky, crazy. Like if he played Joker, I could see him being more of a Jack Nicholson style versus a Heath Ledger darker, kind of like why so serious, dude. But I could see him being like that is also the level of crazy that's needed for Carnage.
Yeah,
like no disrespect to
Woody
Harrelson, he's amazing. The wig in the first Venom movie, I'm so glad they got rid of it. Dear Lord, that looked hideous. But he doesn't have that, like Carnage is like just that twitch, like it's just pure. You're looking at him and at a moment's notice he can just like shoot you and be like, okay, let's go on, or like laugh mechanically and you're like, oh shit, I'm screwed.
Do you know what it could be? Do you remember Steve Buscemi's character in Con Air?
Yes.
And how just sort of solemn and quiet he was throughout. This is what you could imagine he'd be like if he just let loose a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing I imagine, like with Carnage and like Castor Troy. Steve Buscemi just spent the whole movie just kind of sitting there. And you're like, do something, and he doesn't do anything, and it's kind of
you hear how badass he is. Like he's the like this person that eats people's fava beans. He's like Hannibal Lecter style person. If you haven't seen Con Air, but Steve Buscemi just has that both creepy but unassuming like look about him. In this movie, like he like I'm not scared of Steve Buscemi, but at the same time, Steve Buscemi looks like that person that could just like snap and just go killer on you anyways, and he'd be like uber strong, and you'd be like, what the fuck? I was not expecting this small skinny man to be like so strong.
And he's the one that all of the other cons on that airplane are scared of. Even when he's around, they're all sort of like,
I'm not gonna mess with this cannibal. Like,
so
he's gonna mess with me.
So that's what I wanted. I wanted something to happen, and that's kind of like the Castor Troy kind of thing. Like he just looks like a normal guy, and then he's just like
split. But then, so Nicolas Cage has to play this crazy version of Castor Troy, and then flip and play like the John Travolta thinking style of Castor Troy.
Yeah, it's so strange, isn't it? Because it's
not Nicolas Cage playing a version of Castor Troy. He has to think, how would Nicolas Cage play Castor Troy?
Yeah, it's honestly ridiculous because there's so many different levels. Like Nicolas Cage and John Travolta don't really get a lot of props for their kind of acting prowess, but this movie shows how good they are because Nicolas Cage plays the over the top Castor Troy, and then when he goes on to play Sean Archer, and then he has to play Sean Archer playing Castor Troy.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many depths to that. And it just shows how good of an actor Nicolas Cage is. I mean, John Travolta plays like kind of two characters.
Both of them are playing. So like I was doing Nicolas Cage first because I love Castor Troy. Like, I'm sorry, in this movie, he makes the movie. But like he goes from crazy Castor Troy to Sean Archer playing Castor Troy.
Yeah, and even still playing Sean Archer at the same time. And you can see there's scenes in here where you can see it's really messing with his mind as well because it's like he's slipping into that character and he's trying so hard to keep a grip on reality and try and be
like,
Sean
who am
Archer.
I actually?
Yeah, and he almost looks like he's enjoying it, and it's scary.
And then you have John Travolta playing FBI special agent, I believe. Yeah, special agent Sean Archer. then has to switch to play crazy Castor Troy playing Sean Archer.
Yeah,
And there's so many like you see the differences. Like
yeah,
this one is a bit easier because Castor Troy is just crazy. So as long as you do something crazy, like oh, like he kind of
yeah,
like does the party because he's so like off hinged. Nick Cage can get away with like Sean Archer can get away with doing normal things, you
yeah,
know, because it's like would Castor do that? And then all of a sudden he just has to do something really fucking nuts.
yeah.
And
Just
then
do
they're like,
his
oh yeah,
eyes.
okay, yeah,
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 just
yeah.
yeah,
But like John Travolta has to keep the crazy of Sean Archer of Castor
yeah,
on hinge, but he doesn't know how to act normal. So and he doesn't
yeah.
know how to work in the bureaucracy. So it's like, and John Travolta captures that like
There is a struggle there as well, isn't there? Like we said with the Castor Troy, Sean Archer, he's struggling to not slip into Castor Troy. Castor Troy is just like this is disgusting. Like he's so unhinged and out there that even when he's driving down a suburban street, he's like, I don't like this at all.
yeah,
Like he's visibly disturbed.
yeah, he's
But
like,
even
I
when
want to go back to who I was.
yeah, he does it. Even when he gets out the car and meets Archer's wife for the first time, he doesn't even try and act normal. He's just like he's all slimy and grabbing her and acting like Castor Troy, but a sort of a diluted version of him.
Yeah, because
he thinks that's how normal people act, and it's disturbing. It really is.
Oh yeah, no, it is, and you feel it, and you can see the wife senses something off, and she tries and fixes it, and then there's the small things, but because he never studied Sean Archer, right? But on the flip side, Sean Archer was studying the fuck out of Castor, so he could figure out who are people, what they do, and get all this information because all he's been doing is studying, whereas and so he became a master. So it was a little easier for Travolta version of Sean Archer to become Castor than Castor to become Sean Archer. But no, this movie is just so much fun.
I'll tell you what, I just want to touch on something first.
Yeah, sure.
The most disturbing part for me about this whole movie was during the operation. And it's not you don't, when they cut their faces off, you don't really they don't linger on those faces. No. You kind of see glimpses, and it's all just the blood and the flesh underneath.
Yeah,
that's not the most disturbing part. The disturbing part is when they're putting Castor Troy's face onto John Travolta's character. Whilst they're doing that operation, they are cutting his hair at the same time, and you can see all the little hair fibers trickling down. And when you get your hair cut, it gets in your t-shirt, the collar, and it itches, doesn't it? It's really, it's upsetting and disturbing. Imagine that behind your face, because there's even a part where they take the new version of Castor Troy to the prison. He gets out and he rubs his face on the wall, and he says, "My face is itching." I'm like, yeah, it's because of the hairs. That's why it's always disturbed me, that part, because I've never liked having my hair cut because of that feeling afterwards. Even when you wash the t-shirt, it's never quite gone. And you see him cutting his hair during the procedure, and it's just so upsetting. Like the blood and the guts and the shooting and everything, I'm fine with, but that is just it gives me.
That's where you draw the line. You're like, no, this is a horror movie. Phil, why did you make me watch this horror movie?
It's so disturbing. And now that I've brought it up, I can see your brain, and you're like, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's 100%. I just never noticed it because it was like, whatever,
It's all I think about, honestly. When I see that scene, it's making me feel weird. It's giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. It's upsetting. Hilarious. And it's true, because why would you do it during an operation as well? They might as well just pull out a cigarette and start smoking.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
You will never watch this movie the same way again.
No, I won't. I now have to rewatch this movie because I need to see what the hell.
Yeah. I've also got my little bit of trivia that I wanted to bring up.
Yes, let's start your trivia. We are getting close to the end of the episode.
Yeah, I mentioned to you, I watched it on Amazon Prime, and anyone that watches Amazon Prime, you get the trivia and all. You can see who the actors are on the side. Also, bonus trivia. At the beginning of the movie, you see John Travolta as Sean Archer, Nicolas Cage as Castor Troy. Halfway through the movie, they switch. and then at the end of the movie they switch back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so look out for that when you see the little character things on the sides. Look out for that because I thought that was good. The main character is named Sean Archer. Sagittarius the Archer, one of the constellations of the zodiac, is diametrically opposite from the constellation Gemini. Castor and his brother Pollux are the two major stars in the constellation Gemini. So Castor and Pollux are two stars that make up the constellation of Gemini,
which are
and they are the exact opposite of Sagittarius the Archer, which is Sean Archer. So they took stuff from astrology and threw that in, and I just thought that was really interesting because it is, Castor Troy mentions it during the film that it's good versus evil, and I even said that earlier. Yeah. And it is two opposing sides constantly at odds with each other, and it's kind of shown there in the naming of these characters as well when they use astrology. That's stuff that you don't even think about, and now that I've read that, I'm like, that just makes so much sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yeah, it's great. Because I always, whenever I watch this movie, I was like, why would you name a character Pollux? Because
doesn't make sense.
That's a strange name, isn't it? Castor I can kind of put to one side, but Pollux, now we know why. Stars.
I love it. I do want to give some stuff here. It was released on June 27th, earned $23,387,530. Its opening weekend, ranking number one in the domestic.
Opening weekend.
Opening weekend in its domestic box office. Went on to become the 11th highest domestic and 14th worldwide grossing film of 1997, earning a domestic total of $112,276,140 and $133,400,000 overseas, for a total worldwide gross of $245,676,146
That's a nice bit of change. And I can see here the budget was 80 million, so they earned their money back so easily. And
ooh. Let me look at some sequel stuff here.
I was going to say, I'm surprised they didn't make a sequel, but I'm glad they didn't, because this is not really the kind of movie that you can sequelize.
So you have Paramount Pictures announced in September of 2019 plans to remake Face Off with a new cast.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, David Perlmutt will be executive producer, with Neil Moritz to produce and Oren Uzel to write. In February 2021, so just last year, nearly a year ago, it was reported that Adam Wingard would direct, and the film would be a direct sequel to the original.
Yeah, I think I remember reporting on this.
I do remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, I think they said it was going to be a sequel, but it wouldn't be with the same characters or anything. It would just be a kind of, do you remember this process that we used in the 90s? Let's try that again. I think
a little better.
Yeah, maybe don't cut his hair at the same time.
That's your one. I think you should find him on Twitter and go, please just make sure they do not cut the hair when they're transferring the face, please.
And I'll copy John Woo into it and just be like, you sick bastard. It's the equivalent to having one of his doves just flying and poo on his face during the operation. It's the same thing. It's disgusting.
I love it. Hold on.
That hair never comes out. It never comes out. It's always there. It's horrible. Every week I have to get really upset over something, and this is the one thing I'm upset over.
This is the hill you're dying on.
Yeah,
last the
week
nonsensical things. I love it.
Last week it was bullying in America, and now it's hair. That's how wide I'll take this.
I'm okay with it. It just adds value to the show.
Yeah.
Al had his list ever growing, and I don't think he's ever gone through his list. You just get angry at the weirdest things and connect things to the weirdest amounts. But I love it because you're amazing, and I enjoy doing this show. So thank you so much for bringing so much joy into my life and our weekly conjugal visits on the Phil Better Show. We reviewed Face Off. Aaron, how many faces are you giving this out of 10?
Do you know, it shouldn't score this high, but I'm going to go for like a 9 because even though it's ridiculous, it's just such a classic, and everything that works about it should not work, and everything that works really well it just all combines into this big ridiculous stupid action movie that is just it stood the test of time, and it will always be a classic, and I could rewatch it all the time. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9 because it's so close to perfect, even though it really shouldn't be.
I have to agree with you. I know the inner critic of me is yelling at me, "Oh, you can't do it," but I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I'm
doing it.
It's Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Bar anything, what they've done today, or I don't give a fuck about this. Pardon me, I have the hiccups. Too much water.
Yeah.
I'm loving this movie. It's fun. 9 on 10 faces. Maybe an 8.5 because I want half a face, but but no, a 9.
I was going to go 9.5, but the hair.
Yeah, that's too high for this movie.
So, yeah.
Maybe 9.2 if I'm feeling extra generous, but no, a 9 because this movie is just cheesy funness. Turn off your brain. You're going to enjoy it. This is the 90s, baby.
I've just decided this second that I'm going to get a face-off tattoo. That is my declaration. I'm going to try and get the outline of their faces next to each other.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I'll do it because that's how good this movie is.
Oh my God, I can't wait. So if we want to find out where to see that, you need to follow him. Where are we following you?
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, everything is all Aaron Talks Films across the board. Just type in Aaron Talks Films and you will find me.
There you go. And if you want to follow the show, it's very simple. It's the name of the show, The Feel Better Show, on all social medias. But if you want to follow me, of course, only one place, Instagram at Podcaster Feel Better. I thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. And I promise you maybe the next episode, so the following one, March 9th, there's going to be a proper outro. But ladies and gentlemen, there's no proper outro. I'm just going to end the show. Goodbye and have a good night. Stay hydrated.